Hi, welcome to Ranger Garage. I'm glad you found our channel. On this channel, you're going to learn a lot about vehicle maintenance. We're going to show the everyday person how to work on classic vehicles, modern day vehicles, things that you can do yourself instead of paying, hundreds and thousands of dollars, hundreds and or thousands of dollars to mechanics and other shops. We'll teach you some customization, some modernization stuff. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about the work that we've done, maybe it wasn't clear, feel free to email us at rangergarage@gmail.com. Hope you enjoy. Hi, welcome back to Ranger Garage. So today we're going to finish up the spare tire rack mount that we fabricated the other day. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove the whole piece. Remember, it was in multiple pieces, and we're going to spot weld the base plate to the L angle iron to the L 90 degree. Test fit that one more time. If that's right, then we'll weld that up, sand everything down, and get ready for paint. So here we go. So the first thing we have to do is remove it. I'm keeping the rest of it all intact. I'm just removing it off from the base plate. And I scribed the area around the base plate and the connector so that I make sure that I line it up properly. Be a little more careful. I was actually scratching the paint on the Bronco. I need to say that it did not make me happy. But fortunately it's in a spot that won't be seen, and I'm heading down to pick up some touch-up paint. Heading down to pick up some touch-up paint here a little bit later. So I am about to realign this back up, and then we're going to set up vice grips to clamp this down. You can use any kind of clamp you want. The key here, just want to make sure those holes remain lined up, which they do. And I can remove these screws or bolts. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack weld it here and here, and then I'm going to put it on and make sure it's a good test fit, and then if it is, I will continue with the rest of the weld. I've got it set on 9 and on max. Let's see if that one took. Appears. What I'm simply going to do is just do a test fit to make sure that everything still lines up. And of course, this is just to make sure that the wheel still lines up. This is not about weld. This is just about making sure that we're welding in the right spot. So I'll be real careful with this. Yeah, it did move a little bit, so I'm going to crank this bad boy all the way down and make sure that I've got it. Okay, now I'll try it. All right, I think that's good. So now I can go ahead and unbolt this, and then I can try to put my weld now, in theory, when I remove this, I'm gonna have to hold, 3 hands and 2 plates. I just hold the bracket itself. It's all in one piece, and it comes out all in one piece. So let's hope that stays true to form. As you see, it's now all appears to be one piece. Oh, some ugly welds, but I think it's a good start. Some ugly welds, but I think it's a good start. We'll see what happens. Those are some ugly welds. I'm not much of a welder, but I'm now gonna clean them up and we'll see what they look like. I did a test fit and it worked out perfectly. I'm gonna show you. This is the test bracket, or the bracket. What I did was to try to clean it up a little bit. I put a little metal filler in the lousy but strong welds that I put in. And so I'm about to sand those down, clean those up, and then I'm gonna cut off these extensions of these bolts, smooth those off, and then we'll get ready for paint. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Not too bad. Paint will make it look really nice with the texture that we're putting on it. So I will sand down this back portion here to get it prepared for paint, and then we'll take care of it from there. So here's what I did. Sanded off a lot of that paper that was on here, as well as I tried to round off these ends here to give it less of a pointy effect. So we are going to clean this up and then we'll paint it. One thing I forgot. I'm going to cut these off so they're not quite as far. I got my angle grinder with my cut off wheel. And so that's what we're left with. All right, now it's time to get it prepped for paint. Okay, so now that we have finished cleaning this up, cleaning the bracket up, and I have hit it with a brake cleaner, and then I hit it with water, wash it off and dry it off. I am now going to hit it with that same bed liner material that I use for the rest of the tire rack, as well as the bed of the Bronco. I've been pleased with how everything's turned out so far, so why not? It's also going to add a good bit of texture, which could eliminate some visible imperfections there. So I will do the spray and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, had a little bit of trouble with this can. It's the only comment I would say about the Duplicolor. It was a little sporadic when it came out, so basically I ended up putting a heavier coat on the first coat that I wanted to. It's actually completely covered, but that was a lot due to the inconsistency of the spray coming out of the can. But I'll show you what it looks like. Actually not too bad. So we'll have to see what it looks like when it's done, and we'll take it from there. So here it is. There's still some areas we gotta touch up, but so far it actually looks pretty decent. So I'm pretty excited with how this is turning out. Put another 2 coats on there, maybe, how many ever can we have left in the can, and let that dry and then put it back on the vehicle. So I'm going to spray this and then I'll let you take a look at it. I have sprayed it, and that's kind of what it looks like. It's going to have to dry off a little bit, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we have finished our second coat, and I'm taking a look at it now. Still a little tacky, but needs a, need to hit this thing with one more coat. So this shouldn't take long. All right. Okay. Now one of the problems is I'm gonna have to end up shaving or sanding down the bottom portion of this because of that rough texture. It's obviously going to be on the bottom of it. Well, there you go. That's it. Now I'm going to go let this dry. Okay, so now it looks like I'm about ready to bolt this on. I have finished giving it that bed liner coat, cleaned off the back side so I don't scratch up the paint on the bottom. And so I'm about to bolt this down, and we will have this tied down, everything except for the camper top.